We just got some new reports about Tom Holland's Uncharted movie, and it's most definitely impressive to say the least. It is currently the most watched film on Netflix, as it climbs up to the streaming services chart in just a few days. So we're going to be talking about that, but we're also going to be discussing the deep integration of Dualsense in The Last of Us Part 1, Bandai Namco teasing the next Tekken game, as well as the studio of Deus Ex comments about wanting to make a return for the game. Before we get into that, please do leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, as that will help more than you think. Let's get right into it. This is another episode of the Daily Gaming Report. Hey, what's up guys, OP Gamer here, and the first news of today is that 6 months after a very successful $400 million theatrical run, Sony Pictures' action-packed Uncharted movie has been added to the Netflix catalog in the United States, as reported by Push Square. The film, which stars Tom Holland as the cheeky pickpocket Nathan Drake, offers a fun adaptation of Naughty Dog's buccaneering brand with some spectacular set pieces, making it perfect popcorn viewing. Also reported by comicbook.com, despite having its Netflix release delayed by several weeks, Uncharted is now on Netflix and it's dominating the streaming service. After being on Netflix for a single day, the film became the #1 movie on the service. Given all of the other amazing movies on the service and recently released blockbusters like The Gray Man, it's a pretty impressive feat, especially in such a short period of time. As of right now, it's unclear how long Uncharted will be on Netflix, but it seems like the movie is making waves on the service. It's hard to imagine the film not being a success on the streamer, given the star power it holds, the fact it's associated with a major video game franchise, and it's a popcorn action film. To give my thoughts on this, when the movie first came out, I watched it and I wasn't really very impressed with the film. I mean, they did an alright job with the acting and the story, but it just didn't feel like a film that's going to last a long time and be very memorable. But it seems that I'm in the minority, because not only did the film review well by the public, it's also being watched by so many people. In fact, it's being watched the most right now. So do leave your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Are you surprised by the success of this film? Or were you expecting this? And how did you enjoy the film yourself? Moving on, as reported by Gamerant, The Last of Us Part 1 is going all in on haptic feedback. The Last of Us Part 1 is a remake that brings many improvements, and one of the most notable new features is the clever use of haptic feedback. For you guys that don't own a Dualsense or don't know about haptic feedback, basically while you're holding the controller, at the back of the controller you can feel vibrations that simulate what's happening in the game. So for example, when you're running in the grass or you're driving a car, how Last of Us 1 showed us in the trailer, when you pet the giraffe, you will feel haptic feedback during that scene. I'm personally more excited now, seeing how they are integrating the Dualsense into the game. At first I wasn't very excited for the game. Aside from the better graphics, the gameplay seems very similar, but hearing the news of the integration of the Dualsense and its features, it does make me curious how the game will feel different on the PS5 as opposed to the PS4 remastered version. Oh, and just a quick other news. Another part of Last of Us Remake has been leaked. I mean, this game has been leaking every day. I don't think it's a main topic to discuss, but I just figured I'd let you guys know that it has been leaked once again. Sony really needs to step their game up in terms of protecting the games such as Last of Us. The next piece of news is that during the EVO 2020, Bandai Namco has teased the next Tekken game, which a lot of people are saying is Tekken 8. As reported by IGN, on stage at EVO 2022, after the Tekken 7 Grand Finals, Bandai Namco shared a trailer for its next Tekken 7 update. At the conclusion of a trailer, they showed the iconic Tekken cutscene of Kazuya Mishima throwing his father, Heihachi Mishima, off a cliff. At the point when the cutscene zooms in on Kazuya's face, it instantly swaps from 1994's PlayStation version of Kazuya to a very modern looking version of the character. They say, quote, "Get ready," end quote. Then appears on the screen, before the trailer fades to black. And Tekken tweeted this out, and they basically just promoted the Tekken 7 stuff, but at the end of the tweet they said, "Watch until the end." And of course, that's when the trailer for Tekken 8 supposedly happened. I mean, I don't think the people are wrong about assuming it's Tekken 8. Let's be real, it is the most likely scenario. And I'm not a huge fan of Tekken, but for those who are, hopefully this news makes you excited that Tekken 8 is on the horizon. The last news of the day is about how Deus Ex could be making a return soon. As reported by Games Radar, Deus Ex Studio aims to return to the series under its new owner, rumors say. Modern Deus Ex developer Eidos Montreal is reportedly aiming to return to the Cyberpunk series immediately, and is hoping to outdo Cyberpunk 2077 in the process. These rumors come from prolific insider Jeff Grubb, speaking on Giant Bomb's Game Mess Morning podcast. Grubb notes that any internal discussions about Eidos Montreal's next project are very early, but he says that the studio is eager to return to Deus Ex. Quote, "It's early. The rumblings I've heard is that the studio wants to immediately get into Deus Ex. They want to get right back into that. They want to challenge. They want to do what Cyberpunk 2077 couldn't. And stuff like that. That's the word going around. We'll see if that happens. It's so early, like what that will turn into. But there was no possibility for that conversation to begin under the current Square Enix, right?" Now for those unaware, Square Enix used to own Deus Ex, as they used to own Eidos Montreal, the studio that makes Deus Ex, but they sold them both to Embracer Group for $300 million. And Embracer previously said that Deus Ex, as well as Tomb Raider, Thief, and Legacy of Kain, are one of the franchises that they saw great potential in, so that might give us a hint that a revival is coming soon for all of these games. I personally can't wait for Deus Ex. I did love Deus Ex games. I felt like the last one wasn't really the best and most exciting one, but it still was very impressive looking. I can't wait to see more about Deus Ex, and hopefully they'll learn and improve from the previous game. And who knows, they might even beat Cyberpunk 2077 in terms of gameplay. I'm not sure how they will beat them in terms of sales, as that will be very difficult to do, but only time will tell. That's all the news for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, again, please do leave a like, as that will help me immensely and help make more content like this. Subscribe to the channel for your daily gaming news, and don't forget to hit the bell notification icon to never miss any future uploads. That's all from me now. I'll catch you next time.